All right, so here we go live. So welcome everyone to welcome everyone to Layer 5 website meeting. So in this call, we'll be discussing about all the front end stuff, UX UI related stuff. So if you are interested in any of these, make sure you add any of the items if you want to discuss. And I'll quickly share the link of meeting minutes in chat. So we'll be following our weekly Layer 5 tradition to welcome newcomers. So if you are a newcomer joining this call for the first time and you haven't introduced in any of the calls, feel free to unmute yourself and give a quick introduction. I see two newcomers on the call. So Akshay and Saeed Aarib. So hi, welcome to the call. Would like to introduce.
Yeah, hi, I'm Aarib, and uh, I'm pursuing my bachelor degree in artificial intelligence. I'm a second year student, and I'm looking for LFX mentorship, and I'm trying to contribute. So far, I've generated two PRs, and now there is one agenda that I would like to discuss, and it is already mentioned here. So whenever I would like to talk about that. I think
Yep,
it's okay.
that's great. Yep. Yeah, I see your agenda in the meeting. That's cool. Yeah, we'll be covering your topic. Um, Thank you for joining the call, Said. So next up we have Akshay. So hi Akshay, would like to introduce.
Yes. My name is Akshay, and currently I'm working as front-end developer, and I'm new to open source, and I just joined yesterday, and looking here to contribute more.
Cool, fantastic. Welcome to the community, Akshay.
Thank
So
you.
with that, I don't think I'm missing anyone. So make sure you write your name in attendees list. I see 16 participants in Zoom meeting, but a few people name in the meeting minutes. So with that, let's quickly move to first item. So first we'll be covering about Layer5.io. Next we'll be covering docs.meshery.io and then following up on others. So first up on the list, we have Vivek's update on ad badge and some fixes. So Vivek would like to share your update.
Yes. Just a second.
And folks, if you have webcams, don't be shy. Feel free to switch them on.
Okay, so this PR is about adding 3 new badges on the community/member page. So let's go have a look. So first, I would like to give a little context here. So if you are in the community for some time now, you know that being consistent in the community and making any kind of contribution is well rewarded. So one of the ways in which we recognize contributors is to invite them to have a member profile. And if you want to know more about it, you can always go to community/handbook here, and you can get all the details how you too can also get a member profile invite. So then once the community members get their profile on the layer5.io community/member page, then they find their area of focus and they start making impact in those areas. So then their profile is awarded with some badges. So like here we have couple of some badges like community, Docker extension, image hub, docs, and landscape. So if someone is making contributions to landscape, so they get this landscape badge. Let's go to the community member page. Let's go to Abhishek's page. So you see he has a Meshery badge, which says that like he has been impactful in making contributions to Meshery. In fact, he has been impactful in so many areas. We need to update it. But yeah, so this way it works. So currently we don't have three of the badges, which are Docker extension and docs and this Meshery catalog. So this PR is about adding these three new badges and then some minor text revision in the description of the badges here. And there are some feedback from maintainer Gaurav and Ritik, so I will incorporate them right after the call. I'm just coming back from a 3-hour long semester exam, so yeah, I will be doing that after the call. That was about the
Yeah, thanks, Vivek. If you keep sharing, and if you go to the page where you have added the badges just for a while. So Vivek is representing a very nice thing here. So we have a Slack community of like about 4,000 folks, and about
Yeah.
4,000 folks, and there are multiple people who are doing different kind of work, such as community work, writing. Some are writing blogs, some are contributing to websites, some are contributing to um, some other projects such as Nighthawk, Meshy
MeshMap,
Docker
yes,
extension,
Nighthawk,
like anything.
exactly.
So
Mm.
Vivek is representing the number of badges people are awarded. So how they are awarded badges, we have also mentioned that. So we have a team of company managers and meshmate who do a weekly or a monthly review of potential contributors who are contributing to the projects, and we do encourage them and invite them to have a member profile, GitHub organization, and a badge on the profile. So if you are contributing to any of these projects, make sure you contribute more. So definitely you will land a badge on your profile. And I think Vivek also added new badges such as
Yeah.
catalog and one
Docker
other, right?
extension,
Docker extension
doc, yeah.
and docs. Yep,
Mm.
that's cool. So yeah, this changes looks good to me. I have made a couple of review
Yeah, I
items,
will be
so
doing that.
Vivek will be
Okay.
updating on that. So other
Yeah.
than that, I don't think I have any feedback. So rest looks good to me. But I want to ask other folks. So do anyone has a comment on this?
Okay, so with each batch, then we would have to also mention the description of the batch and how we can earn them. So that's
Yeah,
next
exactly.
about
And
that
in
we have
fact,
to do.
there is a whole section describing this only. Community/handbook and their recognition. This one that I pointed earlier. So this is the part where you get to know how you can get a member profile invite and badges on your profile, and this is the badge description. So this is the same page. You can get all the details here.
Yeah.
No,
And
okay, but
yeah,
I was
yeah,
referring to the separate sections. So yeah, okay, but the 2 lines would be more than enough.
Any more
yeah.
feedback on this?
Yeah, one more thing. So I guess Karan pointed it out on last call, or like someone else was working on it, that having a
Mhm.
tooltip on each badge on the member profile. So we could say what the badge is about.
Oh yes, yes. So right now,
Yeah, I
I
guess
think
yeah, there's one open
we have
PR
some
from
hyperlink. Yes,
yeah.
yes. Rupesh is a
Okay,
contributor. Like, yeah. So we'll be following up on that.
okay, cool. So we don't have Rupesh on today's call, right? Nope,
Yeah.
we don't.
Mm.
Okay then. So anything else from you, Shivam? Yeah, that was a great update.
Did you ask Shivam?
Or sorry, Vivek. Yeah,
Oh
I'm
no,
just
no name.
confusing
That was
myself with names. Okay,
no, no problem, no problem. Thank you.
okay, okay. Thanks, Vivek. I'll share my screen again. So moving on, next we have Said's update on improving UX scoring card and community handbook. So Said would like to share your screen and give a quick update on
Yeah,
this.
sure. Yes, my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yep, it is.
Okay, so actually I just noticed one problem here, that when we hover in any of the card, then rest of the cards are disturbed. Okay, like this, and yeah, it disturbs the attention of the user. Means we get this our attention across the whole screen, but we want to focus a user on a particular card. So instead of disturbing the whole card, we can just scale it uh, on the screen side or z axis, so that the rest of the cards are not disturbed. Means like this, you can see rest of the cards are getting disturbed on holding a particular card. But as I think when I was in a Slack community, when I mentioned, then so Lee said that Z index, scaling this card on a Z index is not a good solution. uh, so is there any other solution anyone can suggest? Yes. Did you get a problem?
Yep, yeah,
I'm trying.
I get this. But I think it's the point you're mentioning about disturbing other cards. I feel it's
Hello.
not quite relevant, but It's just highlighting the particular card and like not kind of disturbing the other cards, but we have a couple of UXers on the folks, so who would like to
Yeah,
give feedback?
yeah, sure. And one more issue was related to I think the doc that wait, at the last section, this is a suggested reading section, and it contains nothing. It does not have any content. Neither it is linked to some other page like this.
Yeah, all right. You can open up an issue on Meshery repository for this, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, and if you
And
move back to your first item, let's take feedback from others.
Hello, Gaurav.
Yeah, Chandruji, we can hear you.
Uh, I think it is a by design. I think this build. I think you are right that it is not something that it is disturbing the other components. I think it is by design built, and I think it's look good when someone hovers, and it's I think it's look better in this design. So
yeah, actually, what I want to say, we will keep the effect exactly as it is. But means like on hovering, the color will comes down and the read mode button will appear, but it will scale it on the z-axis, so it will overshadow the card below it instead of pushing it down. So if uh, it's okay to if it's not relevant, then no problem, we can I will like to contribute in other issues. Right. Okay.
Um,
no,
yeah,
no,
no, no, like
it's just my opinion. Yeah.
No. Okay. I was just
yeah, that's a good point raised by side, and yeah, definitely like if this issue doesn't work, let's get you on. Like there are multiple tons of item that needs to be done, and we'll be discussing about that. So you can start with those, say, and yeah, that this one is a
Okay.
great call out.
okay. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you for sharing your screen side. So moving on, next we have an update on add designer page and hyperlink from Karan. So Karan would like to share your screen and give an update on this. Um, Karan, are
Yeah,
you there?
just give
Okay,
me a
yeah,
second.
sure.
Hope my screen is visible. Uh, yep. So in the current scenario, what was happening is that for the UI UX badges, we didn't have hyperlink, and we do not have the description of the UI UX badge and on how you can earn the badges, and just mentioning what all of the changes that all of the issues that we have and all the enhancement issues regarding in the in the community that is going on. I've designed this UI UX web, which is similar to the writing program. I just taken the components from the writing program and made a new designer web page, which mentions about the how you can earn the community badge and how you can start contributing towards the design aspect of the project. And here also it also links you to the contributor application, which is the Google form that newcomers are introduced in the newcomers meeting. And yes, and the additional resources I mentioned about the list of the website maintainers contributing the open design enhancing issues and all of the things that are required. So this is how the web page is looking, and yes, it links to the UI UX hyperlink UI UX page. So the anyone who is interested can will be redirected to this new page. So any thoughts on any reviews about this?
Yeah, this your update perfectly syncs with Vivek's update. So yeah, Vivek, you have any comment on this?
So far, this looks good, and I will follow up on GitHub, later.
Yeah, okay, cool. So
Yeah, cool,
before we
sure.
move next, so anyone
Yeah,
has?
the I want to mention one thing, like this will be okay or to like redirecting the user to the contributor application. Like I don't know that we have mentioned about the Google form anywhere in the website, or but we are mentioning it in the newcomers meeting. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vivek. Like the last one I attended, yes. So Anita was mentioning about this.
If you click this button, what does it open?
This open this contributor application for the UX.
Okay, so yeah, this is the same one that we are using currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine to link with that.
So I'm stopping my share.
Okay, so let's move to next item. So we have a request from Ayush. So he has to leave early. So I think it's fine if we cover his item early. So Ayush would like to present.
Yeah, thanks, Gaurav.
Yeah, and still, I just quickly say, if you haven't added your name in attendees list, make sure you mark your attendance. Sure, Ayush, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, I had two pairs up this week, which was, and both are merged, which was regarding moving the Layer5 website and the Meshery UI both to Google Tag Manager. So for context, Google Tag Manager is basically used for tracking the website data. Like it shows you how many page views are there, like from which region users are coming. So it's basically a tracking tool. So I've installed the GTM on both the Layer5 and Meshery UI, and it's like working properly and collecting data. Previously, we used to use an older version, Google Analytics, but now we are moving to GTM. So the second item I have was like Lee told me to like create events for tracking the MeshMap form. So in Layer5 website, we have these MeshMap sign up forms, and we have this at multiple places. So you can see like this is at the on the page URL layer5.io cloud native management mesh map, and then we also have it like under the visualize section and the collaborate section. Yeah, here. So I have created events. So basically, events are there to track any particular action. So these events will basically track the sign up of these mesh map forms, and like they will put, since I've created three different, like one for the visualize page and one for the design and one for the mesh map. So it will show like from it will show us inside the Google Analytics that from which page how many users are signing up from that particular mesh map form. So what happens now is that we just get a total aggregate form of signups. Like if there are if the MeshMap form is at 4 places, then it shows us the total. But now we can see like individually from which page how many users are signing up the MeshMap form. And the fourth item I have was to install this tool called Hotjar on Layer5 website. So Hotjar is also a tracking tool, but it is like a more advanced point, or it gives you more feature to track things. Like since I've only like installed it a couple of hours ago, we are not receiving any data. But in coming days, as it will receive data and I will become more familiar with this tool, I will be able to give more insights. So like this item was also like given to me by Lee. Some features like are like heat map, so it will show like which parts of the web page are the user spend the most time on or clicks the most. So it will help us in tracking. And the last item I had was like, so basically, I have created some issues. Like right now, only one issue in the Layer5 website regarding fixing the some lighthouse test. So after this call and in the coming days, I'll open more issues here, which will be basically to fix the failing test in lighthouse. So just for example, like how if anyone wants, they can take up on it. So like for example, if you go inside the actions and inside the the lighthouse CI run, there are many tests which if you look, yeah, so there are like many tests which fail. So for example, I just opened the issue for one link name failure. So if you just go to this link name test, it says that this link name failure, this link name test is failing. So to solve this, it basically gives you a link where you can click and it will show you the steps that you can take. So if anyone wants to like fix these tests, because we have a lot of them and also we opening issues, so they can basically go to the lighthouse CI run under the actions tab. They can look for the tests which are failing, and then inside, like under each test there is this link which basically gives you guide how to fix it. And this is the page. So this is a 404 page. And similarly, we have a lot of pages like index page or MeshMap page, and it shows the all pages like almost 13 to 14 pages are present here. So you can go under any test, you can see for which page that test is filling. Like it will be present up like here it's a 404, and then you can click on this link which will give you guide, and you can fix the test. So that's pretty much. If anyone has any question, then they can ask.
Yeah, I have questions, but I'll wait. If anyone has a question for Ayush. Okay, so Ayush, we'll be incorporating this lighthouse in all the websites, right? After we get successful in the Layer5.
Like, are you asking like inside Meshery and other websites?
Yeah.
So Lee has not told me anything about it. Like, but
yeah, I'm
currently,
just
like,
talking about the future things. But yeah, this one is a good one.
oh yes, yes, we might, but we would have to first fix this because there are so many tests, and Lee has also told me to enable more pages. So I'll open a PR for this by today or tomorrow, which will enable more pages. So we need more contributors here because many tests are failing. So if you can contribute, then please help
Yeah,
on fixing these tests.
definitely
Yeah, and
a good
also
call
I
for
had one.
volunteer.
Yeah, and also
Yeah,
like
sure, go ahead.
I had one more issue like of tracking the quick tips in the Meshery UI, but I haven't been able to do it. But I'll open a PR for that today. I need to like first talk with Shivam, discuss some things, and I'll definitely open a PR for it today. It was a due
Yeah.
item for today, but I had some problem setting up, so it has been delayed.
Okay. All right. And yeah, just about the third a bit. Yeah, that's a good thing that we definitely need to have a tracking for MeshMap form, and the stats. The stats are most important to us. So I see a Vishrut raised his hand. So Vishrut,
Yeah.
you have a question?
I would like to work upon that lighthouse issues. I would be willing to work some years on that.
Yeah, so if you want, like you can go yourself and just choose any test you want to fix. Just open an issue for it, and then you can comment down it under to assign itself. Or I will open an issue today after the calls, and then maybe you can comment here, and then I'll assign you.
All right, perfect.
Okay. All right. So one last thing, Ayush, before you can leave. So it's about the SEO thing, and as you know, like Randy's PR about trailing slashes and redirection loops were merged. So did you try rechecking the stats of that on SEMrush or anything?
I do check the stats, and I still saw like the indexing failures issues. Like the Randy's PR was basically to fix the SEO page indexing issues, but there are still page indexing issues present. I don't know if they are related to the flickering slash or some other, but I'll investigate on that. There is also I'll also open a PR today itself, which is regarding the page indexing issue, uh, which was reported by the Google Search Console. But I'll have to investigate more on that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, do ping Randy on website channel if you need any kind of help on that.
Yes. I'll give a update on the website channel and tag you, Randy, and you.
Okay. All right. Anything else from you, Ayush? That was a good update.
No, that's it for today.
All right. Thank you for your update, Ayush. Let me share my screen again. So let's circle back to Akanksha's update. So Akanksha had to left early, so we'll just quickly cover her update so she could take reviews from the live streams recording. So she has worked on update codes, text visibility. Let's visit her PR. So she has a PR and few of the reviews. So updated text position to relative for better visibility. And yeah, I think the changes looks fine to me. So I'll ask for a review from contributors. So you all can quickly take a review and provide your feedback if you have. So moving on next, we have update from Vishrut on added word wrapping and set max width. So Vishrut would like to share your screen.
Yeah, just a minute.
Sure.
Is it visible?
Yep, it is.
All right. So this was my issue. The text was getting cut off in the mobile view, like over here. So I put a PR which was reviewed by Akash, and I got to know that what I solved over here in the mobile view, an issue came up in the desktop view that the max width was being applied over here too. So I was working on fixing that. Due to my exams, I wasn't able to update on this, put an update on this. But probably I will need to change the entire responsive part of this terminal component. If anyone has any, because like the it's mobile first. The styling is done in mobile first way. So the issue was coming. The issue got created in the desktop view after I solved the mobile view issue. So I will be solving this by in a few days because I have exam yet tomorrow. So that was the issue. I'll be
exams.
if anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
yeah, no issues. Yeah, it's a good update. So cool. You will be working on this issue, and anyone has feedback to offer or any help to offer to Vishrut? So Raj has raised his hand. So Raj would like to say.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Am I audible? Oh, sorry. So I would suggest that like we can use a media query for the word wrapping thing. Like we can set the max width only in the media query for a maximum of basically for the mobile view we can set the max width property, and we can get
Actually,
the existing style for the desktop.
yeah, that was my plan before I saw the code. After seeing the code, is it's actually the media query is inputting the minimum width that is for desktop views or like anything other than the mobile view. So I made changes in the mobile part, and in the media query, it did not update it for the desktop thing. So the issues created because of that.
Okay, all right.
Was I audible?
So
Okay, alright.
All right.
all right, Vishrut. So any other update from you before we move next?
As of now, I don't think I have anything else.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. All the best for your exam for tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Cool, I'll just share my screen. So next update is from Gaurav, from me. So it's on MeshMap interactive component. So if we take a look at the current site, what we have currently. So if we go to this page, cloud native deployment, that's the page which represents designer. On this, we are currently having a static image. It's just an image, no interactive components. So it is saying experience context aware. So what we are trying to achieve here is interactive component that will be a cytoscape components having nodes to which a user can interact and do stuff. So I have created a PR on this, which adds an interactive cytoscape component. It needs some bit of work. So I'll just quickly demo it. So if we go to this page, make sure you look at this particular section to see a proper animation. So if we visit this page, we can see the nodes, the cytoscape elements. So I've created a static cytoscape element using cytoscape.js. It's a graph manipulation library, and using some style components that we already have for extensions. And we can do much more things over here to represent context aware. And there are a few issues that this thing is not much responsive in mobile, and it goes this thing because I have removed the border. So Shivam has suggested we can add the border and do some bit of styling related to um, mobile specific view. So if we just take a look at this again, the animation. So I'm using a Cosi blanket animation for animating this particular cytoscape graph. So Shivam or like anyone has any feedback or anything to offer here, and we'll be improving this context aware specifically related to Meshery extensions on this page.
Yeah, thanks for this. And yeah, it looks good. And yes, we can like either extend the boundary of this or to increase the size. Like we also once suggested that we can use the whole page as the canvas, and maybe we can try that. Maybe we can use the MeshMap designer banner as the canvas, or maybe we can restrict with the help of a boundary as
Yeah, that sounds good to me. So anyone has feedback related to UX or anything? So Avantika has raised hand. So Avantika, go ahead.
Yeah, this is just a very minor detail. It could just be a consistency thing. But I think what you have on the right side where it says MeshMap Designer is really big. It kind of clashes with the entire animation that you have going on the right, because it looks equally big to your animation. So maybe if you reduce designer, you can keep it at with a different color. I mean, like it's white right now, just reduce it because I think it clashes a lot in terms of a visual component when you come to this page. And your highlight should be the animation rather than what's written on the side. So unless it's the same, because it's like if the CSS for this is that you have to have designer written the same way on each page, then that's a different issue because that's just consistency. But in case this is a new page and if you're developing something new, it might be good to reduce that just so that there's more room for animation on the right. And even if you reduce the animation a little, the size, to get more space, maybe to add more of these links to the animation, it'll still have more attention that you can pay to the animation versus to the text on the left.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was the feedback I was looking for. Yeah, the main highlight here will be the animation, and you're absolutely right with reducing this part.
Yeah, you can even reduce, I mean, I'm not sure how important the other elements on the page are, whatever's on the left, basically. You know, the stuff in the background, the white color, you know, thing next to MeshMap and Designer to the left. And then there's this beam of light, almost like a gray light that's going. So maybe we could make this into like an interesting gradient rather than have it be these random blocks of elements that are not really making a lot of sense, even in terms of, it's not bringing any additional information to the page. You know, it feels like a distraction just from a visual point of view.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. And yeah, talking about the gradient, I think Ritik has developed few new gradients we could use over here. And yeah, we have the page designed in the Figma for Layer5. And yeah, I'll tag you there, or Ritik will tag you there. So like, there's a lot of refinements we could do here. So your suggestions and improvements will definitely help us.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I can definitely help with this because it looks like you're doing a really nice job with the animation. But I think the reason it might be getting a little lost on the page is because there's too much going on. It's very busy as a page.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks for the feedback, Avantika. So anyone has more feedback on this? So Vikram Aditya has one in chat. So how about making a box shadow like glow whenever we click and drag the cards, like cluster roll, as we are focusing on animation mode? Yeah, we could do that also. So we can customize this whole cytoscape thing. So it's not an issue for that. But yeah, definitely, I like Avantika's point of like highlighting this particular, because the context of everything that we want to highlight in this mesh map designer page, that's the main goal over here. So, all right. Since no one has more feedback, so we'll move to next item. That's from Randy, but Randy isn't on the call, so we'll cover his topic. So Randy has worked on fix the occasional flash of white. So few months or weeks ago, Randy worked on fixing the whole white flickering on reloading of the Layer5 website. And there was some part of things left. So Randy has fixed in this PR, and Nikhil is reviewing it. So you all are also welcome to review this PR from Randy. If you have any feedback, make sure you leave it on the PR. So let's move to next item. That's by Meyazhagan on add mesh map section in readme. So hi, Meyazhagan, would like to share screen?
Yeah. Correct. Is my screen was checking?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah, I added like MeshMap section in the readme. Yeah, like I think so. Yeah, the readme section. Yeah, we missing the MeshMap, so I added and I created a filter. And And that's it.
Yeah, this looks good to me. So do we have catalog and other items, Docker extension and other things in the README?
Catalog we do. I think Naureen added that, and for Docker extension, I will have to check.
Oh, okay. So no issues. Yeah, I think in the same PR you can add Docker extension, right? Naureen's PR doesn't include Docker extension, Vivek, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. So Meyazhagan,
Yeah,
you
if
can
you
add
have
extension.
yeah, if you have a short description also, like you can give it and I add it.
Okay. Yeah, this looks good to me. So thank you, Meyazhagan. So yeah, just before we move next, so I think I'm pronouncing your name wrong. So you have to say your right name loud.
Yeah, it was Meyazhagan.
Say it again.
Meyazhagan.
Meyazhagan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks. So let's move to next item. That's from Naureen on catalog project card. So Naureen, you're all set to share screen. Okay.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, I worked on this catalog component. So I just added this component on this grid. And it's in dark mode, it looks like this. And it's responsive. Previously, it was this grid was like this, and then I moved some cards to other places. So I changed the place. And I think it's responsive as well.
Yeah, if you just hit Command Shift I or Control Shift I, we can see.
Command Shift. Actually, I'm trying to.
Oh.
The screen is full. So.
Yeah, it looks good to me. And about the catalog icon, I think Ritik suggested a new one, or I'm just missing it. So Ritik, you have any comment on the catalog icon? Are we using the same one?
Because this was suggested by Lee to use the same one for both.
Okay. Yeah, I think Ritik dropped off. So yeah, the icon looks good to me.
Yeah, because I think it's same like this image hub. This is also two-toned, and this one is also two-toned.
Yep, perfect. So we are good to go and merge this PR then.
Okay, thank you. And I have another question which is not related to this PR.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I want to make a document for documentation for catalog project and another playground, but I don't have, I'm not very familiar with the project, so I don't think I can write anything about that, though I have made a page. And I'm not sure if that's the right place to make the page. Like for Meshery Playground, I have made the page in overview. And for right now, I just have all this information which I got from other pages, and it's just like a placeholder. And I don't know. But I believe on this documentation, it should be some information about Playground and some instructions, like how to use that. But I don't know what the project
definitely.
is.
Yeah, this is the most important things users ask for. Like what things I can do with Playground, like what is Playground, how can I sign up, how can I deploy and deploy? Like there are tons of operations in the Playground MeshMap you can do. So yeah, this documentation is so much needed. And yeah, we'll make sure to provide you with all the relevant information so you can toss it over there.
Yeah, I need it for catalog and Meshery Playground.
Yeah, sure.
I can just add them, but I don't know what they do and how they do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So no issues. We'll provide you all the information so you can toss it in.
Okay, and I think Avantika has asked me some question on Figma, which I don't know the answer of those as well. Okay.
No worries.
Yeah, she asked me, I think, about some instructions to how to use catalog, but to be honest, I don't know how to do that. Thank you.
Okay, sure. So anything else from you, Naureen?
No, thank you.
I had a little feedback for Naureen, actually, just for from a design perspective. If you go to the catalog page, I think, this one. So you know how you have like a lot of these icons that are already there. I think they become a little more consistent when they become responsive in a smaller screen size. So if you make them a little, just reduce the screen. So you see how like here, especially over here, they seem like they're the same size versus in the bigger one, they of course look a lot bigger. Maybe you can make the div that you have the icons in could be consistent so that when they're smaller and all of the cards become the same size, the icons also become the same size. Okay. I don't know. Does that make sense?
No. No.
Okay.
So you mean that like some are small and some are big, like on this side, they are small and these ones are very big, way bigger than these.
But this one here, it makes sense because the card sizes are different. So you'll have to make them proportional to the card size. If you make the screen even smaller, I can you just do that? Maybe I can.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. But
like over here, for example. So you have like all of the cards are the same size. So maybe the icons, this Meshery looks really, really big here.
Yeah.
And the rest of them still look very consistent. So maybe the way that, all of the like landscape Meshery image hub, all of this can be aligned. And then, above there, you can have you can have like a div within the cards for both the writing and for the icon. So that it sort of is proportional, at least here, where everything is the same size.
Yeah.
And you could even do that for the bigger cards, where I don't know how much effort that would take. It seems like it would be a lot more to do. But it could work really well, and it would be visually a lot better.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And I think Meshery is like maybe the prominent card here, so that's why it's bigger than the other ones.
Yeah. So it makes sense here, but for the smaller ones, you could, and even for these, you can see if there's a way to make all of the cards, some of the cards more consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Thank you.
You've done a good job.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for your update, Naureen. Cool. Let me share my screen again. So next we have an update on reducing the bundle size from Udit, but I don't see Udit is on the call. So let's visit his PR quickly and see what he's doing. So it's about reducing the bundle size of by removing the Nuka carousel. So we have been using this carousel in the past, and he has removed, which has eventually reduced the bundle size, and it's a code improvement for core. And I see Nikhil has updated and he has worked on the merge conflict. So we are good to go and merge this PR. I'll merge this PR after the call. So let's move to next item. That's from Avantika on catalog page redesign. So Avantika, you're all set to share screen.
Yeah. All right, so I currently just worked to improve the catalog page. So it's been something that I've been iterating a little bit. I'm not sure how to remove this one. There you go. So, so the catalog page used to look like that. And it was a little bit unstructured. There was information that was too much information, or too much space for information that was not so necessary. Then buttons were not aligned, or they weren't giving the right kind of indication to users, compatibility, related designs. And I think we needed to also add a review and rating system. So having worked on it a little more with a lot of feedback from everybody, I kind of changed the way that the design was working and just the whole layout of the page. Ritik, I think, helped add, this new section, which is a catalog page header. We've come up with breadcrumbs so that people can see exactly where they are on the website. So they're following a specific, way of going from one page to the other. Then you have these clickable anchors, if someone is more interested in caveats and considerations, they will immediately be taken to that section on the page. And another big change that I made was creating these sections, creating this sort of card-like structure so that, you can have information differentiated and you have more space for information to be added. So all of the relevant information that's needed is who created the design or the plugin, and when it was updated, what version, what type, visibility. So using all of that, adding, a share button so that you can share all of this very easily without having it to be a different button or taking up more space. Then changing the button styles a little bit so that, download is the more important primary sort of action a user would take, and then cloning could be the secondary. And then opening it in Playground could be something that people can sort of do to overview and understand the design. I also kind of reused an element that existed on the previous page. Right over here, I can show you guys very quickly. So others have been working really hard on creating a whole structure for catalog. So using, the same thing over here, it kind of helps with the design, and it also makes it a little easier to reuse components while you're developing a page. So it's just being very, I guess, smart with the way you're designing. But when you open a page, and it'll sort of have these check marks or sort of, things that are already ticked to show what the compatibility is. And since there's so many integrations, you can have, you can search and you can find whichever one, a specific user might be wanting to see, the compatibility with. Then I just added tags because, sometimes it helps with finding pages and probably with SEO eventually and stuff like that. So it's an additional widget. We can always remove it if it doesn't seem like it's working very well, but it was another addition to the page that I thought was nice. We can also make them clickable, but I think that would be going into a lot of detail and figuring out if we need to make separate pages, but it could just filter out the way that it does over here. And you can have a page where you have different cards with, tags of just deployment. So designs and plugins and other systems that have just deployment attached to it. So it becomes easy to navigate overall throughout the website. Another thing I added, and I think this is what Naureen was talking about, I wanted to add a getting started section so that, when people who are new to the specific plugin or in general just new to the ecosystem here, they would be able to sort of see how step-by-step one can integrate this specific design to however it is supposed to be integrated. All of those, the technicality of it is not something I'm aware of. So if anybody, is aware of how this can be standardized for different plugins or different designs, it would be really nice to get a little bit of information for this, because then we can make different designs for different ways of getting started with, all of these different designs everyone's making. Then related patterns are already sort of, it was already built. I just sort of, again, added it into a card sort of system so that we can easily come to related patterns. And then I added this entire section today where people can review and rate. Doing that, you can get information on what the integration is, how the design is. You can see others, commenting. I think I haven't really spoken to Lee about this much, but maybe if we added like a star rating system, that is probably something that can help create the system, the rating for the design overall. But there might be different ways of doing that. Like we would have to figure out how we're linking it. It could be through how many people have downloaded it or used it, which is what adds to the ratings here, or how many people have, opened it in the playground and the downloads. And there could be a lot of different ways to sort of add to this rating. It could also be, I'm not sure if this is linked to GitHub in any way, but it could also just be a GitHub rating. So some information on this from anybody would also be helpful if anyone's interested in finding a solution for what would be the best way to show a star rating, because I think anybody coming to a page for information on a product would, it would be nice to know what the rating is. I think someone might have just written something, but so, information like that, we might have to add, if there are other ways to show what the features will look like on the catalog page, something like this, which is more technical, we can always add that here, because adding stick figures for features might not be so relevant, but it's a good visual break because otherwise it's a lot of text. So overall, like it's just an entire redesign of the catalog page, with additional information on where you are on the website, different ways of using buttons, how you can restructure information for the overview, how filtration will work. It could be something that's utilized on every page for the catalog, so it makes it consistent. And then just adding ratings and reviews, which hopefully will add to the overall rating of the specific design. So this is what I've worked on so far with a lot of, help from everybody else. With their feedback, Lee, Ritik, a lot of others jumped in on a call on Friday and we kind of worked on this. So if there's any, feedback anyone would like to give, or anybody who wants to work and figure out how to make all of this a little better in terms of usability, that would be really nice. So, but that's all from me for now.
Yeah, seeing this is amazing. Looks like it's pretty well structured in like everything, how the process is flowing from your current UX and this thing. We can see all the process of catalog, and this thing is totally nice. So all these things will be going in Meshery Cloud, and some of these things are being developed. So talking about the GitHub and the other things that you mentioned, that all those things are also in progress. And we have a contributor who is contributing to Meshery Cloud, so Sudhanshu. So Sudhanshu, you have any kind of any feedback to offer to Avantika?
For now, it's looking like very well structured. But as we discussed in the previous Friday meeting, Friday, I guess. So the thing is like it is some very like some user want to when come to this page or like that. He or she has never that like so much of text and that thing. If we get this thing of getting started and something like that in another page, I guess that could be a better option for now, I think, because there is in a single page there are like so much of like data and that. And now it but as a UI it looks pretty well amazing.
Yeah, I understand that. So the reason I added it was, and I think that's what I meant, that in case like if it's the same way to get started for every single design that's being made, then this might not be so necessary, although it's just an additional thing for users to be able to see, because it's nice to know how you can integrate something without having to like go to a different page to do it. It is a lot of information, I get that, but I think that's the whole point of coming to this page, is to gather as much information as you can to get, to install this and to sort of download it, clone it, open it up in the playground. So instead of taking the user to an additional page, that's more effort for the user versus having it over here. They don't have to take that extra step of going to figure out how this would be done. And that is only if they even need it. Otherwise, people would most likely skip this and then just go to whatever section they would like to. So they have flexibility to go to any section that they're most interested in by just clicking on these. So it's like basically an anchor system. Earlier, we had made drop downs, but I think the reason that we have these, complete sections is also because everybody said that, you don't want to have another thing that you're clicking in a drop down. Like you can have an overview, but a feature could have like a drop down arrow, and everyone would need to click another time to get more information. So the whole point of this page was to sort of make this very open and flowy and have as much information a user could use or need, so that they don't have to go through another additional step to get more information, whether it's a click or whether it's going and being redirected to another page. If that
So like this getting started section is under that every catalog design, right?
It should be. I mean, like I said, I don't know the technicalities of it. It'll be on every page for people to know how to get started, so that maybe you don't need to have a separate page, on how to get started, unless it's incredibly complicated. And, then in that case, I think maybe opening up another issue for catalog would be good to understand how to do the whole thing, like how someone would get started. But here, the only reason that I added this is because it's something that could be a standard section for every single item on, one of these catalog pages, without having to go to another page to figure it out. So you have all of the information that you need on one page.
Yeah, definitely a single page experience with a tabbed and anchor usage seems much relevant to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. All right. So yeah, and with that said, so Avantika is developing these pages for Meshery Cloud, and we will definitely need more and more UI developers who can develop these pages. So if you are a front-end developer and if you can handle this thing, so let us know on Slack. We'll get you access to this particular development process. All right. Thank you for your update, Avantika. So we are 4 minutes over, and we are just left with one item from Shivam. So Shivam would like to quickly make a call for UXers.
Yeah, sure. So we have about 4 pages regarding MeshMap and Playground. So basically, currently we are creating the Playground page, and so there have been some suggestions regarding currently the Playground page highlights not many features of the Playground because it's a really big thing. And so what we require here is to reorganize or redesign this hero banner so that it highlights some amazing things of Playground. And since we have many UXers on the call, including Avantika, who has some great observation and design skills, so it would be nice to show some love here as well on this Playground page. And on the MeshMap designer page, we also need more content here as well. On the visualizer page as well, we need more content. And similarly on the collaborate page. So any new UXers who would like to jump in, and even anyone who has any even simple observations could help in creating or designing great content for these pages, because these are really important pages, so it would be really impactful from your side.
All right. So yeah, Avantika has signal for help over here. So Avantika can provide her feedback. Yeah, Avantika, this one is the current screen on which Shivam is. It's for Meshery Cloud, and the previous one was MeshMap. Yep. All right. Thank you for making a call for volunteer, Shivam. So with that, we are 7 minutes over, and thank you all for joining today's website meeting. We had a good number of agenda items discussed today, and make sure you subscribe to Layer5's community calendar so you could join the rest of the meetings. And you can catch up the recording of this meeting on Layer5 YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe that. So thank you all for joining. See you next week, same time, same place. Bye all.